The moment it appears, they're going to let the motorcycles go first, and then all these other cars may follow behind the motorcycles. And again, they are all going to make their way down to Brooklyn's Barclays Center. We can tell the aviation units are also up here as well. That's how we know that we're going to have to change our flight path a little bit. Listening to LaGuardia talk to the folks at Police Aviation. Anybody else here yet, Lars? Anybody else here with us? Oh, they are here? I don't know. Again, as we see the procession slowly making its way towards the thruway, which is closed right now, by the way. We can show you one of those aviation units we were talking about up there. There's Police Aviation. Again, the coordination that happens between the aviation units and us is much appreciated. You see NYPD there. Makes all this work smoothly for everybody involved. And as we come back over here towards the service road, that's Central Park Avenue. You can see people on the cross streets there, lined up. Not sure if they're going to try to jump in on the procession or they're just paying respects to DMX. But we see a support vehicle coming by there, and you can see people with their arms up in the air, many of them holding mobile devices of some sort. And we see those lead vehicles heading south on the Major Deegan Expressway. And if you're following by the numbers, that's Interstate 87. And again, traffic from the Montchelou Parkway being held. And this is what we'll see as the procession winds its way south. Police will run interference ahead of the procession, and they will close down all those entrance ramps to allow the procession itself to filter through without other cars getting in the middle of it. And as I said, I know we have several people who may not be familiar with the city, so we'll try to point out familiar names and familiar sites as we go around the boroughs here to help people understand where they're watching. And again, we are in the Bronx right now. And that's just the Major Deegan Expressway. It'll make its way past the Cross Bronx Expressway, the area for the George Washington Bridge, down past Yankee Stadium. And they'll cross their way over the Triborough Bridge, RFK Triborough Bridge to be exact. And that's how they'll get into Queens. And Queens, they'll go into Brooklyn, where they'll end up at Barclays Center. Again, we're just trying to keep our distance here to accommodate the folks over at LaGuardia Air Traffic Control, who are doing their best to be able to make this possible for us to be able to show you. So we thank LaGuardia for working with us as best they can. Obviously, this has attracted a lot of air traffic as well. We have PD Aviation flying with us, other helicopters in the area, so it's a busy coordination on the ground and in the air as well. Just going to go by our landing gear here, or the skids. And you can see we'll peek back into Westchester County, the thruway still being held, as there are still several motorcycles that need to catch up to the procession. And eventually they will all catch up to each other, and I imagine they'll all be together by the time they get down to the Triborough Bridge. Looks like the last of the motorcycles are making their way onto the thruway. You'll see they'll go at full speed, we'll call it, the speed limit. be optimistic there to catch up to the procession. Again, we'll come around Mosholu Park here. We'll pick up the Major Deegan Expressway. Again, it's going to be a little hard to see. We do have to fly a little off the Deegan at the moment. And you can see those motorcycles on the highway. As the procession makes its way. Into the Bronx right now. And we'll just keep swinging the camera around here. You can see there's quite a bit of distance between the front of the procession and the back of the procession. And obviously, New York has its fair share of tall buildings and structures, so it may be a little hard to see everybody, but we'll take a look down here. And we should see the lead vehicles pop out over here in about 30 seconds or so, I'd imagine, or less. Here comes a police car, another police vehicle. And we should see that support vehicle, Rough Riders for Life, next. And behind that will be the truck carrying the casket. And just a few more of these tall buildings, folks, and we'll have a clean shot of the Major Deegan Expressway, and you'll get a better view of what's going on with the procession at this point. And we're kind of in the Kingsbridge Heights section of the Bronx, excuse me. Oh, camera's drifting ahead of me, sorry about that. Kingsbridge Road just passed over there. Again, you'll see those lead vehicles, and then you'll see a bunch of motorcycles behind them. And that's what stretches back for about a mile or so now, or just motorcycles trying to catch up with the rest of the procession here. Again, that middle truck, you have the three vehicles here on your screen. The middle one is the one that has the casket on it. And support vehicles on either side, front and back. And there you go. You can see the large number of motorcycles coming through the Bronx now. Looks like Jackie out there in Bakersfield, California, checking in. People asking again what we're watching, and this is the procession for the memorial for rapper DMX. Passed away back on April 9th. And this started in Yonkers, the Yonkers Raceway. And the procession started to make its way over to the New York State Thruway, onto the Major Deegan Expressway, and that's what you see there, the beginning of that procession. And again, as we bring the camera back here a little bit, you're going to see it fill in with motorcycles coming from left to right on your screen. Several hundred motorcycles gathered at Yonkers Raceway to take part in this procession. And you have police clearing the way for them. The thruway shut down up by Yonkers Raceway to allow the procession to gather and be part of this ride down to Barclays Center in Brooklyn. The memorial will be held there starting, I think, at 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, we'll try to keep as much in the screen as we can. Again, we'll bring the camera back here a little bit. Again, all those vehicles you see now are part of that procession that's going to escort the casket down to Barclays Center. You're going to see those quicker, faster moving motorcycles on the right shoulder, some of them being police, as the procession makes its way down the Major Deegan Expressway. And once it gets on the Grand Central and the BQE, they will close down entrance ramps to allow the entire procession to get by, to keep other cars from getting in the middle of this. Again, you see them pulling some wheelies there as they go down. You got that one there with 1 foot on the bike, 1 foot hanging off. sure that worked out the way it was supposed to. There you go, back on the bike. Actually, it's more like it's a quad, actually, not even a motorcycle. And again, you see some people on the side of the road taking pictures there. You see that one bike has stopped. You see all these bikers coming down there. Different styles of bikes, 3 wheels, 2 wheels. Got the 4-wheeled quads there, ATVs. So again, this is the procession that continues to make its way down through the Bronx on the Major Deacon Expressway. We'll catch up to the lead vehicles there. Yeah, that's usually the way it works. Thank you, Lars. And just so you know, we are actually over on the Hudson River. You see the East River, the bottom of your screen there. And again, this is, if you're just joining us late, we're kind of near the departure path of LaGuardia Airport. So the good folks at LaGuardia are working with us, and we're just going to stay, and we're going to work with them. We're going to stay over here to stay out of the way of their departures, but our camera has the long lens on it. We can get you these videos from the other river at least, and you can still see that procession making its way along the Major Deacon Expressway. Of course, there'll be some obstacles in the way there. We'll do our best to keep something in the video for you as we continue on south here. Again, you can see that long line of motorcycles and other utility vehicles following the lead vehicles down the Major Deacon. And we are now coming down towards the intersection of the Cross Bronx Expressway, Interstate 95 for those watching elsewhere outside of New York City. Of course, that's how you get to and from the George Washington Bridge. We'll come to these houses here, and you can see the beginning of that procession right there. So they're about to make their way south of Interstate 95. There you go. That's the Washington Bridge, and that roadway over here with all the traffic on the right side of your screen, that's the Cross Bronx. Actually, that's actually the Alexander Hamilton Bridge that goes into the Cross Bronx Expressway. All part of I-95. And there goes our police vehicles there, and behind them we'll let that go through, and I'll and you can see several people with their cell phones out there taking videos, taking pictures of the truck that is carrying the casket. Again, there's the Rough Rider vehicle in front. We saw a super stretch limo in front of them here a few minutes ago. I'm going to assume they're leading the way. Looks like they're very far ahead now. There it is, over on the right side of the video. And that or not, but they brought that pickup truck, the monster truck, into the back side of the Barclays Center. Whoops, sorry folks, that was me drifting the camera. And we're only, that's Atlantic Avenue you see on the top left of your video coming down towards the bottom right. And that intersection means we are at Barclays Center. You see them all combined over there, or bunch up. The building with the green roof on it that says Barclays. Well, that's Barclays Center. So we're going to see this crowd gather over here at the intersection. We see the aviation unit from NYPD on the bottom right corner. We see burnouts happening now at the intersection down there, it looks like. And they're smoking the tires on the motorcycles. You'll see that a lot. Kind of a salute in the motorcycle group there, so you'll keep an eye on that there for a minute. That's why you see all that smoke. It's just tire burnout. Yeah, pretty much. So again, a salute there as they make their way down. There'll be a strong smell of burnt rubber down there. You see some folks clapping there in the intersection.
To see.
There we go. There's a good burnout going on down there. You see the groups gathering? Oh, I can only imagine.